Hi there, my name's Lo. Welcome to my channel where I discuss everything between Hermes and grocery bags. Welcome to the last part of my 5-part series on travel bags, or at least bags I like to travel with. In the past couple of videos, and I'll drop a playlist down below, I discussed bags I like to travel with in the luxury segment, contemporary segment, and non-luxury segment. And last week we prepared for a trip to San Francisco using my Delsey trolley and these bags I had selected. I am back, perhaps a bit sooner than you had expected, but I was filming ahead. And I wasn't sure whether I would be up to filming this already after having jet lag and that kind of stuff. But I'm back from San Francisco and I'm all good to go to film the last part of this series, which is a review of the bags and how it went and some afterthoughts. And I thought I'd also give you a little update on what happened to the bags on my birthday haul from a couple of weeks ago. Well, let's get started. So these were the bags that I selected for my trip to San Francisco. This Delsey Turenne trolley that I took. I have these Lancaster pouches. I misplaced a strap. I have no idea where it went, but it will show up somewhere, I'm sure. I have this Kipling Art Mini, and here in the back the Kipling Art M, which I stuffed with a pillow for now just to make sure it can stand upright. So how did I like these bags when I was traveling? Well, overall I was quite pleased with my choices. I made a selection of these non-luxury bags over the luxury bags and contemporary bags I had discussed in earlier videos, mostly because these were really the lightest bags because none of them are made of leather. They are all either super foldable or really nicely packable, like these pouches. And because I was going to San Francisco and I wasn't really quite sure what to expect in terms of city, I really wanted to feel comfortable, so I wanted to have something that was inconspicuous and inexpensive, so hopefully I could blend a little bit into the crowd. To start with a little discussion of the Delsey Turenne trolley. Actually, I used this trolley for the very first time. It was a birthday gift to me from my mother, and actually this was awesome. I mean, I already liked that it was lightweight and that the inside on either side has zippered compartments, as you can see in the Pack With Me video that I did last week. I think there are wider trolleys around because this is actually only a 35 centimeter, and I think some trolleys actually go up to 40 centimeters, but this still packed a punch, and I was totally okay with just what I had in my trolley for the past 2 weeks. What really surprised me about this trolley is how smooth it actually rolls. And I'll insert some footage to show you just how easily it rolls, even over just tiled pavement, which is not absolutely smooth. And also how quiet it was. And I was really happy about that because when I left on Sunday morning, I think I was in the street before 6 o'clock and I really didn't want to wake anybody up. So I'm just gonna shut my mouth now for a couple of seconds and show you the footage, and you can actually hear how quiet it was. And this was actually filmed on the morning that I came back from the airport and went back home. This was great. Overall very satisfied with this Delsey trolley and looking forward very much to taking it on more journeys in the future. Then over to the Kipling Art M. Let me just move the Mini to the side for now. Overall, I would have to say that this was a very good choice. What I really liked and what I really used during travel on this bag was the trolley sleeve that's on the back here with the zippers. When I was not actually traveling but just using this as a work bag, I could also use the back compartment to put my phone in, so this was also really great. The only downside I would have to say about this bag is because it only has these shoulder straps. You have one on the front and you also have the one on the back. If you pack this heavily, so with a laptop, a big full water bottle, pouches with electronics and knickknacks and what have you, this actually becomes kind of heavy on the shoulder, and I don't really know why. Perhaps because altogether this is fairly narrow and this was just not super comfortable for carrying on the shoulder for that long with such heavy weight. Luckily, because it had the trolley sleeve, I felt very comfortable to just pop it on my trolley, and the trolley really did exceptionally well with the weight that was inside there, and then also carrying the weight of my laptop and my water bottle and all the other stuff I was carrying in this bag. I think really the trolley did exceptional. This is a very nice bag, but I just found it to be a bit heavy with just the shoulder straps if this is really overpacked. In that sense, if you really want to wear something like crossbody or on your body or on your shoulder, I might look out for the variant of this bag that actually comes with the crossbody strap. But overall, fairly nice travel bag. Excellent work bag for the 2 weeks I was there, and I don't regret taking it. Then on to the Art M Mini. I actually only carried this a couple of times. In that sense, perhaps I could have also just done with the bigger bag, but I thought it was nice to at least just have a bag for going out for the day. So I had one weekend to spend in San Francisco, just having free time, not having to go to the local office over there to work. It was quite nice because indeed it does hold a water bottle, and on the first day I also packed some lunch, for example, so that I could hold a picnic while I was out and about. I walked up the boulevard to Fisherman's Wharf, and I walked in Chinatown, and I did some shopping, or I tried to do some shopping in Union Street. Eventually didn't end up buying anything, but this was quite a nice bag. I held it, I think, pretty much every way. I carried a top handle sometimes. I put these straps over the shoulder when I wanted to just hold my bag a little bit closer to me. I used the crossbody strap. I wore it crossbody. I wore it as a shoulder bag. So I really exploited all of the functionalities and ways to carry this bag. Overall, it was really nice. I guess the only downside that I would have to say, like if you pack this fairly heavily with a big or full water bottle, these are the D-rings that you attach the crossbody strap on, and because these are below the little tabs over here, these tabs tend to come in as you are carrying the bag. And although I don't really mind how it looks per se, I was noticing that these little leather tabs, or fake leather tabs I suppose, were sometimes when I was wearing this bag crossbody, they were kind of jamming me in the bag and in my stomach. That was then not super comfortable. Luckily, because there are so many ways to carry this bag, it wasn't not really an issue, but I hadn't really realized that if you pack this bag fairly heavily and you wear a crossbody, that can actually happen. So it might be something to take into account. What else I really like though is that, well, specifically for me, because I have this flip phone from Samsung, I could pop the phone in this front pocket of the bag, and I could just easily take it in and out while it was still secure behind a zipper, and having easy access to your phone while not having to carry it in your hand all the time, I think is really nice when you're out for the day. Because honestly, if you are anything like me, you are checking your phone quite often to see if you're still going in the right direction if you're walking around. Overall, fairly pleased with how this Art Mini did, but next time around I might consider taking another bag. Last week I already discussed that this one was kind of the hardest for me to pick, because I also really like the Givenchy Pandora bag, and Marc Jacobs tote bag is also really nice. Perhaps next time around I'll go for another bag. One final remark is that on the way back in the plane I actually popped this bag into my larger Art M, so you can only take 2 bags on the plane, or a trolley and a smaller handbag. But once I got on the plane, you can obviously redistribute your things as you like, to some extent obviously. So I just put the trolley and the Art M in the overhead compartment. I had this little padlock on my Art M, so I actually closed up the zipper. I mean, I stayed awake during the whole flight, but I just wanted to make sure that if somebody would grab my bag, it wouldn't be very easy to access. And I took out the smaller Art M bag, which then had my noise cancelling headphones in them, and water bottle and some other things that I wanted to keep close to me during the flight, but to at least not have this massive bag to stuff under the seat in front of you, because that also kind of kills your leg space. And on a long flight I want to have as much space as I can. On to the Lancaster pouches. These were great. These were awesome. I've traveled with these already a couple of times, and yeah, Usually I would really never carry this type of bag, to be honest, and I think that's something I forgot to disclose in earlier videos. I don't really care all that much for this style, but perhaps also just not really for the silhouette. I also don't really like camera bags for some reason, but when it comes to travel, these are just perfect. I packed this one with my knickknacks, I packed this one with my electronics, and then when I got to the hotel I did kind of a switcheroo. I ended up taking mostly this bigger one of the two with a chain strap that I could just fling over my shoulder. This one was big enough to really actually hold a bit more than my essentials. When I was traveling, I actually had 2 phones with me. I bought an additional SIM card so that I could just use internet in the United States. So I had a phone with a US SIM card in it, and I put my phone with my Dutch SIM card in it. So this pouch was carrying 2 phones. It was carrying a wallet. Usually I have just a card holder with me. When you can do reimbursements, obviously you are going to ask for receipts if you are purchasing a meal, for example. So I wanted to take a wallet with a coin compartment so I can actually stuff all of the receipts in there. So yeah, 2 phones, reasonable size wallet. Sunglasses were also fitting in here just with a soft pouch. It is a sunny city. Ideally you carry sunglasses with you even if you go out for a bit. And it was also just holding some other knickknacks like headphones and all of that kind of stuff. So I just mostly ended up taking this big one with me, and I didn't feel like switching in and out of pouches when actually the sizes are fairly comparable. Overall, very pleased with these, and I think these are just becoming kind of a travel standard, unless I need something more posh, obviously, because these are still pretty casual. But yeah, as I already said before, how cute are these, and how cool is this monogram of Lancaster, even though nobody knows it. It really surprisingly goes with a lot of things, or at least for me. However, I do want to make a little shout out to this C by Chloé mini Hana bag. Before I went to San Francisco, I went on a midweek family holiday, and I didn't really find it worthwhile discussing because we were just going there by car, and then, well, if you go by car, at least for us, we can pretty much take everything we want because it's just the 2 of us. And I took this little bag. I only used it a couple of times when indeed we had to run out and we had rental bikes, so it was really nice that I could just wear this crossbody and it was comfortable and it felt safe. That it was not going to drop off my shoulder or anything. So yeah, just wanted to say I did actually use this for a little bit when I was traveling, but it didn't go on the airplane with me. So who knows, next time around if I have a bit more space. I was thinking I might actually do a video on the bags that I took on my family holiday, but given that we're already talking about traveling and travel bags for over a month now, I think I'll postpone that to later. So yeah, that is a little summary of how it went on my trip with my bags. If you're wondering, apart from the bags, how the trip went, well, the trip was awesome. I feel so blessed that I get to work at a company that will just allow me to travel, visit international offices, visit conferences that are worthwhile. So it was really great. San Francisco is a very interesting city. I was super excited, especially when I got to see sea lions and pelicans. I had really not expected that in such a city. The weather is amazing, and I sincerely hope I get to go back somewhere in the future. Who knows, hopefully already next year. Then before we wrap up, I quickly want to discuss the bags that I got for my birthday haul. After a number of weeks of thought, I eventually decided to return the Esther Egme and the little Liftner bag. I came to realize that even though they were nice, I was probably just considering keeping them because I got them for such a good deal, which I don't per se think is such a bad thing. You might get a bag for such an amazing price, and I think that also leads to a lot of sellers' regrets when it comes to selling bags, that you have a bag and that when you sell it or when you return it, you come to the realization like, oh wow, I might not really ever be able to get this bag again for the same price. So when selling or returning, you might just feel some sellers or perhaps returners regret upfront, but when I really thought about it, I figured that I could just as easily live without these bags in my life, so that the whole point of being able to buy them back for a similar price was not really an issue, because when given the opportunity, I would probably not buy them again, knowing what I know now. They had an interesting silhouette. The Esther Acme hobo bag, it had a beautiful color, but it was already damaged and the structure was just a bit off to me. And the little Livner bag, I could have perhaps gone forth and made or got a bag organizer for it. But I figured if I have something that is kind of similar to a Chloé puzzle bag, but perhaps a bit bigger, then I think I'd rather just use my Chloé puzzle bag or get a bigger size of the Chloé puzzle bag if I'm longing for something that's bigger than that. It was just way too unstructured for me. And I was a bit afraid that I was just not going to love it in the long run. So these two bags, they went back, but obviously that's no reason to cry because there is always another bag, and I already replaced those bags with another treat for my birthday, which I will show to you next week. Just to give you a little tease already, this is it in its dust bag. Don't let the color of the dust bag fool you, because this is actually not the dust bag that is supposed to come with this brand. I got this bag pre-loved, but it is in new condition. Perhaps you can already take a little guess what it is. If you want to figure out and learn more about this, as you can see, fairly small bag, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and you will be informed when next weekend my new video comes up. That's it for now. Hope you enjoyed this video or found it useful. If you have any questions, drop them down below in the comment section and I'll get back to you. There's a styling, a situation, and a taste for everything, whether you're traveling or not. So don't judge, wear whatever the bag you like. Until next time, or as we would say in Dutch, doei! And in this particular case, welkom thuis.